Oh, wow. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trash Talk Podcast. The show where we just ran out of ideas and they're basically Watch Mojo. Um,
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be back with another episode. Emilio here. Actually, we were so desperate for topics. Emilio turned to the one thing he knows nothing about in this world: video games. And
that's
here
right,
we are today.
everybody. Today we're doing the top 10 video games. Why?
And
Well, basically, it's Ryan's turn to actually look cultured in one of these top 10 ones.
I
So,
know this is my chance to finally appear like I'm smart. My intellect can finally come out. I know, like movies, TV shows, like they're fine, like whatever. But video games, oh, that's my
he
wheelhouse.
always brags about being very well spoken when it comes to video games. So we're gonna
I'm very
finally see if that's true.
I've only said that a handful of times here on the show. Thank you very much. Video games has never been a topic we've actually delved into, like, at all in any of the episodes over the years.
Yeah, hold on. Trying to plug
Oh
this
my,
in.
oh my gosh, am I seeing this correctly? I mean, whew. Buddy, are you balding? I can see a bald patch growing there in the back of your head.
Oh, it's because of the light. I have really short hair right now.
Oh yeah, believe me. Yep, I have short hair too. It's okay, buddy. There's no shame here. No judgment from this. I understand completely. Fist pump Barino.
No.
Damn it.
So yeah, we're gonna do top 10 video games. Let's see if Ryan has a little bit more diversity in this picks rather than his TV shows and movies.
Absolutely, because I watch the same TV show all the time. I watch Blue's Clues ever since I was a kid. That was
Yeah.
all my content.
Surprisingly enough, Blue's Clues follows the same story structure as all the CSI episodes.
I know, it's insane, right? They solve a murder every episode.
Yeah. And the movies, he only picked action movies with the same archetype of character, except Baby Driver.
It's like if you crossed like the Emoji Movie with Titanic and Leonardo DiCaprio not winning an Oscar. That is essentially the essence of all of my movie picks.
Yeah. So let's go to top 10 video games. As some of you may know, I'm not a gamer. I'm not racist.
No.
So.
Wow. Great way to start off the episode, buddy.
So I'll see you in the comments, everybody.
Oh, no, you won't, because no one watches this on YouTube.
Yeah, but we can still get comments in the other ones. I just never check. So I'll start. I'll start with my number 10 pick. And I didn't know which one to pick here. I was between Minesweeper and FIFA.
Oh
the
my
FIFA
gosh.
series.
Emilio, why? Why?
Because I had to fill the list.
Boy. You were so desperate that you chose Minesweeper of all things. It's not even a real game.
It is a game.
That is not a real game.
What makes a real game, in your opinion?
Because if you enjoy it, it's not a real game.
Oh, well. I mean, I had all the Resident Evil games here, so I guess they don't count anymore.
Hold up here. Take that list back.
No, I put FIFA because I've played it a bunch of times. It's a fun party game. I mean, it is a major cash grab, but who cares? I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah.
There's
FIFA,
not really...
my favorite party game.
I don't understand why so many people complain about it. What do you want them to change from the game? It's literally the same thing every year in real life. How would they change the game of soccer?
I like the fact you're so vague about what FIFA is in your explanation, and you're just like, it's a party game.
It is a party game.
It's a soccer game.
But it's a game you can play at parties.
I remember that rhythm mini game. My favorite part about this.
Excellent. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. It's a soccer game. Whatever. Who cares?
My intelligence is showing.
Yeah, I've played it at parties with friends, and it's like a fun little thing to do. You know, you can stack all the players and like soccer. Yeah.
You said about his experiences I did in like the movies episode.
Fine. What's your number 10 pick?
My number 10 pick would be BioShock, a 2007 Xbox 360 launch title made by the same people behind Borderlands, made by an Australian branch of the company.
Oh, I've
Very
played
good game. But
Borderlands.
no, well, Borderlands is good. I've only played pre-sequel, but BioShock is definitely my number 10. BioShock is one of my favorite first-person shooters ever made, and BioShock is a fantastic game. One of the best plot twists in video game history, fantastic visuals, great storyline, great explanation going to the 1940s aesthetic, having things, even themes of science with genetic mutation, manipulation, corporate tyrants and businessmen, and it takes the world of politics, even subjects we discussed here on the podcast, and put it into a storyline that makes sense. And that is what makes BioShock considered one of the greatest games of all time. The combat system is fantastic. You have different gene splices that you can inject into your body that have different superpowers, with it being somewhat within the realm of possibility. You're in an underwater city known as Rapture, and the characters in this game are very memorable. Andrew Ryan is the name of one of the characters in this game, and he's an absolute tyrant businessman who cares about nothing but his underwater city rather. And all in all, though, I don't want to drag it out too much because BioShock is just a great game, and we have a lot of games to get through. But I will say, is guys, check out BioShock if you haven't played it. It's a great exploration game, great shooter game, and it's just a fantastic storyline. Period. Check out BioShock.
Yeah, but in BioShock, can you play as the national team from Ireland? Because in FIFA you
Actually,
can't.
yeah, it's downloadable DLC. Actually, you have to pay $20
hell
for
yeah.
it. But yeah, you get a bunch of leprechauns in Rapture. You have them shooting
Wow, Ryan,
fireballs and
that's
ice and lightning.
racist.
Yeah, that's
Of
not
course.
racist. I met a leprechaun once. He did that to me. It was perfectly normal.
That doesn't mean that all leprechauns do it. Jesus.
One was enough.
Anyways, what's your number 9 pick?
All right, well, I guess we're going back to me. I would go number 9 would be Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, the collection that's specifically released for the Xbox One and PS4, and I assume PC and Steam as well. Shovel Knight, again, to save some time, because this is a renowned title that pretty much everybody knows in the
Dude,
indie
I've
scene.
never heard of this show. This TV video game. This video game. So you better explain it, because
How dare you? Shovel Knight is a 2014 indie game that was released and really revitalized this particular genre in gaming. It's
what's
a
the
fantastic
genre?
game. It's a platformer / adventure game. Shovel Knight is about a knight named Shovel Knight who wields a shovel as a blade or a sword. It's about him going and defeating 8 different boss knights throughout this land in order to save his partner Shield Knight from being known as the Enchantress, who is possessed by like this evil locket. And this game, it's picture Mega Man and DuckTales for 2 different games that if you had to mix them together. Great exploration game, great fourth wall breaking and humor. You have different power-ups that you can go through different levels in,
Oh
a la Mega
wow.
Man, which is really good. You have the boss knights themselves are really unique and very fun to fight. The storyline itself is really good to go through as well. It's a little generic in some regards because it's pretty straightforward, but the Shovel Knight main campaign is just really good. They even have, on the Xbox One version, you have the Battletoads that appear as a cameo. You get special gear from them. And in the PS4 version, you have Kratos from God of War that cameos as well. You get to fight both of them, and you get gear depending on the versions. But Shovel Knight is a revolutionary game, considered one of the best indie games out there, or ever made for that matter. And I chose Treasure Trove specifically for this particular list, just because not only does it have the main Shovel Knight game, but it also has 3 different DLCs in it as well. From 3 of the boss knights. 2 are prequels, 1 takes place alongside Shovel Knight's story. And there is another campaign here as well. It's like a downgraded Smash Bros. Style game where you play all the Shovel Knight characters and fight against each other in like an arena. I mean, all in all, it's a really good game. It's a contender for one of my actual favorite games of all time. It is a great experience and one of the best indie games I've personally played. So check out Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Really good, and it's cheap.
It won a Game Award for Best Independent Video Game in 2014.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic game. There's a reason why it's still renowned to this day.
It looks pretty
Despite the fact that
fun.
like, it is actually. It's pretty good. I recommend you guys check it out.
It's available for Windows, Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, and Mac OS X.
Yes, because everyone still uses a Mac computer in order to play Shovel.
I have a Mac computer and I've never played Shovel Knight.
You are better off playing it on a console or PC, not a Mac.
I have an Xbox 360 that I never use.
Might want to get yourself an upgrade, buddy.
No, thank you. I'm not a nerd. I don't play video games. Which
I'll
takes me
take
to
that.
my number 9, Tetris.
Actually, I can't really fault you for this one. That's a classic puzzle game. There's actually no debate on that one. That's a good choice. One of my best friend, he loves Tetris. It's like one of his favorite
Tetris.
modern games to play.
Tetris.
Great game.
Tetris is
I
a
respect
puzzle
the
game where, well, I don't care. Tetris is a game where there's like blocks. It's like Minecraft, but with blocks.
Wow.
I don't even have to explain it. Everybody knows it. I know I'm really good at Tetris. Recently, I started watching competitive Tetris play. Those guys are on a whole other level. I don't. Those guys are amazing. I don't think I could ever describe another power athlete as Tetris pros.
I'm surprised you're able to describe Tetris at all, much less a competition.
How would you describe Tetris?
Tetris is a puzzle game where you link together blocks in order to create combos, rack up a high score, and enter competitive play in a very renowned puzzle game, with other releases such as Puyo Puyo Tetris being able to create intricate storylines with characters while implementing new variations of the puzzle dynamic with visual effects, power-ups, upgrades, and various other components to the games.
Yeah, I'm just talking about classic Tetris. You didn't have to read the Wikipedia page.
I memorized it just for this episode.
So anyways, my number 8 is Pac-Man.
Oh my gosh, we're really scraping the bottom of the video game barrel here.
We're just going for, well, I could say that about the TV shows you said, buddy. But I didn't say
What are you
it.
talking about? They were actually good and popular TV shows.
No.
We're bull.
You only mentioned crime soap operas.
That is soap operas. I'll have you know CSI is far from a soap opera.
It
Thank you
is
very
a
much.
soap opera, Ryan.
It is not. It is not.
And
You don't know.
and the movies you mentioned, Hitman 47 or whatever. So-
Hey, I admitted the movie has faults, but it's classic to me.
just to you. Anyways, guys, so
In
Pac-Man
my
is
family.
Pac-Man is about this yellow ball that it has to eat small white balls, and it's chased around in a maze by a ghost. It's an arcade game. Everybody knows it. I liked it. I'm also very good at Pac-Man. I come from a long line of Pac-Man players. My great-great-great-grandfather invented Pac-Man, actually.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Wasn't he the one that also invented Tetris too? Actually.
No. Yeah, they get confused a lot, but no. They're two different people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, it was your. I'm sorry. That was your uncle that created Tetris. I'm sorry.
No,
You know,
nobody
you
in my
remember him, right?
family created Tetris. I'm sorry, everybody.
Your uncle did. You know, that one family reunion you had like 5 years ago. Uncle shows up, invites you down to the basement, gives you a little something, something. You wake up, your pants are off. He wasn't actually your uncle. You know, I'm pretty sure it was him, wasn't it?
Rape is hilarious, everybody. Anyways, Ryan's weird attempt comedy aside, Pac-Man is a fun game, a great arcade game. I am not lying. I do come from a line of Pac-Man players that ends.
Oh yeah, because your grandfather invented Pac-Man.
No,
Okay.
my mom was actually apparently very good at Pac-Man, and I inherited that trait. So
Excellent.
so
Very,
that's why.
very.
So what's your 7?
My number 8.
Ryan, that approves of rape culture, shaking my head.
I do not approve. Fuck you. No. I would say for my number 8 on the list, I would probably have to go with the game from the Resident Evil series, which Emilio had highlighted at the beginning of the episode. I've played a few games in the series so far, but I would say the game that I'm going to have to go with one I've actually completed as of this podcast is Resident Evil 2 Remake. RE4 would be a contender for it, but I'm in the middle of... I've started playing it again seriously recently, so I'm not done with the game yet, but... The RE2 Remake was just a fantastic game. Took everything from the original PS1 release and just rebuilt everything from the ground up. Same puzzles, story, characters, great survival horror, and it added an element into it when it comes to actual horror compared to the other games. The RE3 remake attempted to have this with Nemesis chasing you around the levels, and he did that in the original PS1 game. But in the RE3 remake, he just appears a few action set pieces and a few kind of meh boss fights. Nothing really amazing. The RE2 remake takes a simple concept like Mr. X, who was scripted in the PS1 games, and has him follow you around most of the police station in Raccoon City, which you're stationed in for most of the game, both for Claire and Leon's campaigns. That was a fantastic element they added into it alone, not counting, again, the puzzle solving, the survival elements, the guns, the healing items, everything you have to manage within your own inventory, and the limited save options if you play on higher difficulties. It's really good. It's stupid and quirky with the story here and there, but then again, this series is renowned for that kind of thing. So I would say right now, the RE2 remake would definitely be there for my number 8 for this list. Maybe RE4, but again, can't really say that yet because I'm not done with it, but RE2 remake.
What about the original Resident
I
Evil 2?
didn't. I didn't play the original Resident Evil 2. The only Resident Evil game that I played when I was a kid was RE1. I got to one zombie and I was really scared and I never played it again.
Damn.
That's exactly what happened.
What a pussy, am I right?
Wow.
Number 7 or whatever.
Original joke.
Dude, everybody comes back for me calling you a pussy. That's like the entire basis of this show.
I thought no. Well, that means everyone comes back for my uncle jokes.
No, because that's literally the first time you've ever done that.
Oh wait, no. What? Ah, dang, we have to make it a recurring thing then. All right.
Oh no. Oh god damn it! Ryan's gonna get me canceled. Just for everybody's, I'm not a fan of those jokes. I just like calling my friends pussies. What's wrong with that?
I'm severely offended by this, but please continue with your number 7.
No, I think you should go. I'm sorry. I feel like I've made you very uncomfortable, so it's your turn to say number 7. I mean, number 6.
It's number 7, not 6.
Oh man.
How did you lose track of... Wow.
Because I really want this to be over now, so...
Oh my gosh, bro.
Just say your number 7.
So my number 7, I would seriously make Crash Bandicoot 3 on the original PS1. A recurring meme that's been on my channel, The Boss, is that I'm really bad with the Crash games, specifically Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity, which is not true, by the way. I actually have some pretty good skills with those games. Twinsanity is just a broken game, which is true. Look it up. But Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, it's just a great classic platform on the PlayStation 1. The storylines that are really the characters, but it has that cartoonish personality with great platforming, great power-ups, simple enough, more enjoyable story, actual good voice acting in this game, and for a PS1 game, it still holds up today. I'm not going with the remasters that came out in 2017, because I think the PS1 game does so many things right compared to the remake. The remake, for one, it makes mincemeat out of so many of the levels. The jet ski levels with Coco, for example, are just awful in comparison to, like, Resident Evil tank controls. That's not how you do a jet ski level in any game. I don't care what it is. So, that's just one thing the PS1 game does better. But I'm going to go with Crash Bandicoot Warped for this one. It's just a great platformer. And great game for one of my favorite video game series.
Well, that's good. That's good. I love Crash Bandicoot. Because I'm furry. I don't, in fact, I didn't enjoy the games. I just like the hot animal sex they have on the show. Or
so you were the one that pirated Utopia on my servers. I knew it.
Anyways, my number 7 is Mario Kart 64. Wait, no.
An actual game?
I fucked up. Mario 64.
Oh, thank you for naming an actual game.
Wow, I should have done that with your boring ass movies. Anyway, so Mario 64, I like it because as a kid, I was a very big fan of the classic SNES Mario game. You know, that's an epic game. But when I started middle school, my friend gave me this Nintendo 64 emulator and Mario 64. And it was just so fun. I had never played a Mario game like that one. And it's made me more interested in trying the newer Mario games like Super Mario Odyssey, uh, the one in the Wii U. It's like collect stars. I forgot the name. Um,
Galaxy?
Galaxy. That's a cell phone, Ryan. What are you talking about? Super Mario
I'm sorry.
Sunshine or
I meant
whatever.
I meant Super Mario Apple. I'm sorry.
Super Mario iPhone. Um,
Microsoft.
Super Mario Motorola.
Oh
Um,
my
so,
track phone.
but yeah, Mario 64 is a really fun game. I've played it a bunch of times on YouTube. I'm not good at the game, but I have fun playing it. I've never finished it. I've tried and failed many times. But yeah, that's my number 7. So up to
I gotta
number
admit,
8. What are you gonna say?
number
Ryan?
6. It was number 6.
Ah,
What I was
shit.
gonna say beforehand was that's actually cool. You actually have a leg up on me when it comes to that game, the Mario series. I've seen plenty of 64. I have never played the game. Never before. I've played a few Mario games, but it's not. I haven't pid a ton of games from it. I'll say
I
that.
mean, you can just play them on an emulator on like your phone.
I'm not good with emulation, so I don't know if I'll ever actually. I'll probably play the DS like remake of sorts if I ever do. To be honest.
Well, try emulation. I don't know what you mean that you're not good with it. It's like super easy.
I'm not great with it. I don't want to get the hacked by the FBI, man. I don't need them tracking me for downloading a copy of Super Mario 64. If I'm going to prison and my cellmate asks me, "So, hey, what'd you get in for?" and he says he killed 5 people, I don't want to tell him, "Yeah, I pirated a copy of Super Mario 64 on a shitty emulator on my Apple device that's actually Samsung." So, yeah, it's cool.
I mean, if you have an Android phone, it's a lot easier to emulate. Like, that's how most of the like classic. I've played most of the classic games.
That's actually kind of cool. I used to have a Samsung Galaxy tablet that I tried emulation on, like one of the older Pokemon games on,
Uh,
like the original Game Boy games. I tried an emulation there, and it did work. So that might be worth looking into if I decide to play it at some stage.
okay. Well, I mean, kind of. I guess it does depend on the phone. I don't know what phone do you have currently.
It's the Samsung S20, I think it is. It's a step down from the newest one.
Oh well, then you should be able to, emulate
Yeah,
it quite easily.
like
Just
even that logic. Yeah,
you should just open the Play Store and look for an emulator. It's like really
might be
easy.
worth.
I don't
Might
really
be
know.
checking. I'm gonna get hacked by some random dude now, and he's gonna seize control of my phone. Be like, "So, how'd you get hacked? They downloaded an emulator app off the Apple Store. You have a Samsung. I know."
Well, well, I don't know what to say other than my number 5 pick.
You're number 6.
Damn it, my
Gosh,
number 6 pick. I have a series,
ooh,
Smash Bros. I don't have a particular favorite Smash Bro, but I left to smash
um,
you, bro. What's up?
thanks,
Um,
bro.
anyways, the Smash Bros. It's like really, I don't know. It's just another one of those fun games to play with friends. I never really play the story. I just grab Pikachu and beat the crap out of my friends. Um, I remember when I was in middle school, we used to play Smash Bros. In recess, and my friends got really angry amongst themselves because I had a friend that always did the same move. And since we were emulating them on a computer, it got to the point where one of my friends tossed a keyboard at another. Fun fact. We were never allowed to play again Smash Bros.
I, he's still in a coma to this day.
Yeah, he's still in the coma to this day. R.I.P. Jake. R.I.P.
Oh
Um, but yeah, Smash Bros. Is a fun game. I don't know. What's your main? My main is Pikachu.
my main, for the most part, has been Link when it comes to Smash Bros. I
Oh, dude,
enjoy
that's
Link's
Zelda, dumbass. Uh,
What are you talking about? I enjoy playing. No, shut the fuck up. That has been such a huge meme for the Zelda series. Now, I mostly go with Link for my fighter. I haven't played any of like the newer ones for like Smash Bros. Like Banjo Kazooie or any of those other ones, but the one I have played
Minecraft
is most.
Steve. Minecraft Steve is in it.
He looks like such a complex fighter to go with, though. I mean, it's cool that they put him in, but like fighting wise, I don't know.
I I haven't played Smash. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so I haven't played Ultimate a lot. I only played once,
Same
and
here,
I
bro.
picked the plant. That's
Of
the
course you
fighter
did.
I picked, just because I thought it was so stupid that they had a plant.
I believe that too.
So what's your number 6?
My number six, I'm gonna go with I'm
These
gonna go with one of
nuts.
my also yes, these nuts, my favorite dating simulator. No, my my number six is also from one of my favorite video game franchises, Devil May Cry. Specifically, I'm going with Devil May Cry 5 for this. Devil May Cry 5 was the newest game that came out in 2019. It's a fantastic hack and slash game.
What's the
Um,
game about?
the game is about Dante, who is the son of a legendary demon knight known as Sparta. Taking place, you have the other games have their own storyline that built up to this point, but basically it's a whole new adventure where Dante and his team, as well as his yet to be revealed nephew Nero, all go into a giant Qlipoth tree, which is a tree born from the underworld, the depths of hell, that grows a fruit that whoever eats it becomes the king of the underworld. And there is a demon known as Urizen who has risen up to grow this tree, and it is killing people because it needs to drain blood in order to stay alive. And he is hired by a mysterious person named V, who bears a striking resemblance to his thought to be dead brother from Devil May Cry 1/3. A little bit of lore there. But it's a really good storyline. I really enjoy it. Devil May Cry is known for not taking itself seriously. The hack slash gameplay is some of the best you'll ever play in a game. Diverse weapons, great looking environments, hell of great soundtrack. Addicting combos, different styles that you can use, whether you're more into defending or speed or attacking. It's just a great time. Great extra modes for replayability. Characters are really fun and quirky. Again, it knows it's not a serious game whatsoever. They have so many one-liners and quips between characters, it's unfathomable, but that's what makes the game great. Devil May Cry 5 is just a fantastic experience, and for anyone looking for a great action-packed hack and slash experience, that's a game for you. It's not my favorite Devil May Cry game, though, but it is a good game.
Are these games inspired by the writings of Dante Alighieri, the
Actually,
Divine
no joke.
Comedy?
That's the Devil May Cry series. Fun fact: it was the character of Dante, or the name was based off of Dante from like the Nine Circles of Hell. It was
Yeah,
based off of.
Dante
It
Alighieri.
was based on. Yeah, it was based off of that one. Also, fun fact: Devil May Cry was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 4 at one point. They wanted to go for a more actiony approach to the Resident Evil series, so they came up with an idea for Devil May Cry. They didn't want to. Capcom eventually nixed the idea, but they kept the idea for RE4 and made it into the Devil May Cry series.
Oh, that's
It's a
interesting.
bit of
I've heard that
inside knowledge.
like a lot of our Resident Evil fans complain about that. That like it's no longer like a horror game; it's more of a shooter thing now, or it was at one point.
Resident Evil. It was the first three game. I'm just going off the main series here. The first three games were the typical classic Resident Evil horror. Four was the game that was revolutionary. That it tried to combine more action-like approaches with horror, but admittedly, no, it didn't have the same classic horror. 4, 5, and 6 in the main series were pretty much more action-focused, especially 6. But 7 and 8 changed the camera perspective to first person, and they dial it back more to the horror, not really so much the action aspect like RE4. So yeah, that is a common complaint though, actually. It has come up at some points in the series. Although nowadays it's not as much, especially with the release of Resident Evil Village. So
I've heard that game's like very scary. Have you played it?
uh actually yeah, I bought it opening day. Like
Okay.
when it came out. I've already beaten it.
What a
Really good
nerd! You
game.
can just buy them online.
I
Anyway,
like physical copies. I like physical copies.
anyways, though, yeah, I've never played Devil May Cry. For this idea that Ryan and I had for this show, it's called the Noob Review. He told me to review one of the Devil May Cry video games.
I told him to do Devil May Cry 2 because it's such a terrible game.
I haven't played it because I don't know which console is it available for yet.
It's available on anything from the PlayStation 2 onward, basically.
Oh well,
It's
now
a,
I have to buy a console.
They have it on the 360 now. They released the first three games on the 360 and
Yeah,
Devil May
but
Cry 4.
my 360 is old as shit. It probably doesn't even turn on anymore.
But
Um,
buy a PS2, it's pretty cheap.
nah, I don't want to. I'm not. The thing is, with buying a console, I don't want to buy one because I'm not gonna use it really at all.
Yeah, it's fair.
So I rather much if it's available on the computer, I'll buy it there. But
It it's available online, like Steam and whatnot, so you can
okay,
play it on there.
can I emulate it on something?
You could try.
Anyway, so I don't know what whose turn it is. I think it's your turn to say number 5.
All right, I'll go. I'm going to see this one's a tricky one for me because I have a few games that I'm definitely putting up toward this list, like in the top 3. But I have to. But for 4 and 5, there's a few games from. I'm going to combine my number 5 into 3 particular games from the Castlevania series. Again, one of my favorite video
Ooh,
game series.
I've played the first Castlevania, and I saw the anime.
Did Nice. I love the Metroidvania games, which are help put Castlevania on the map after the initial arcadey days of the original games. Like the first one, Super Castlevania 4, Simon's Quest, all those other ones. Or
I
Super
didn't know
Castlevania
there
2.
were so many Castlevanias.
Those are the originals. What Symphony of the Night, which I'll discuss later on in this list, is not only considered one of the greatest games ever made, but it's what took them helped make the Metroidvania style of games. With like exploration, finding breakable walls, like RPG elements, traveling, map completion and whatnot, going wherever you want, getting power ups to travel different parts of the map. But that's not what I'm going for this list. My number 5 is going to be tied with Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow, and Portrait of Ruin. Aria of Sorrow is on the Game Boy Advanced, and Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow on the DS. They're all Metroidvanias. They're all fantastic games. They all take place in different parts of the Castlevania timeline. Although Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow are the last games in the series chronologically, like story-wise. They're the last games in the series up to this point, which Konami will never make another Castlevania game at this point. So who knows? Maybe they will. But at this point, those are the last games in the series storyline-wise. But they are all fantastic games, all visually fantastic. Some of the best video game soundtrack scores you'll ever hear in your life, and that's no exaggeration. They are fantastic soundtracks. They all play very well. They all have great exploration with map progression, breakable walls, finding secrets, leveling up, getting better equipment, grotesque monsters, and great designs that you can have in these different battles. You can customize your playstyle. The storylines, depending on which game you're going with, aren't spectacular, but they work well for a Castlevania game. The best story, I think, out of all of them that goes the most in-depth is either Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow, or no, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, I would say between the two. But Aria, though, I wouldn't count that one out because even though it's more simple, it introduces the next generation of Castlevania for Dawn of Sorrow. So,
Oh,
but all in all, I would go with all 3 of those games for number 5. They're just all great.
okay. Yeah, I've played only the original Castlevania. Well, when I used to work at this news station, and I was starting to get more into like the classic, SNES games. Or I don't even know if it was the SNES. Was it?
I think it was the NES. They had a
Well,
few Castlevania games on the NES.
yeah, one of those, right? And I was playing Mega Man that I didn't include on this list because I never got to finish it. But this guy from work recommended Castlevania, and yeah, it was really fun. I also didn't finish it. That's why it's not on the list. But yeah, it's another really fun game. At least the original, from my perspective. It's it's I don't know. To me, the thing with retro games, like from the infancy of video games, that I find interesting is that graphics were so limited, yet they found a creative way of building a world and creating a story. That's why,
Yes,
I've
my
never,
favorite video games.
like played, I've never completed one of these games. For example, The Legend of Zelda, like the original,
Ooh.
like Link's Adventure, whatever. Um, they're incredible games because they took what was limiting them graphically and created it a whole new world, which is pretty cool.
Very nice.
I guess it's kind of interesting how we demand a lot from video games now, considering the technical capabilities. So you can see we've come very far.
Oh yeah, agreed there. I mean, video games as a whole has become an art form over the years, and even though graphics aren't everything in video games in general,
Yeah.
the classic games like what you had described, Pong, for example, one of the most simple games ever made, if not the simplest game. Yet it's something that people still love today because of the simplistic design. It's where gaming helped get its start from.
Yeah.
Pong. Which is
Yeah.
number 5 on Amelia's list,
It's
right?
actually number.
Oh my gosh, I spoiled it, guys. I'm so sorry.
I'm literally just ranking these games based on how much fun I had playing them. It. I really don't care about the story and that stuff because I'm not like a super. I don't know nothing about storytellings in video games compared to like books and movies or TV shows because it's a different sort of presentation. Because I mean, the game theorists have a video where they explain how video game movies often fail, and it's because when you play a video game, most of the times you assume yourself as the character, and when you're watching a movie, it's a lot harder because there's not that interaction. Um, Basically, that's the thesis of the video, anyways.
Yes, that is going to be the title of the video.
You should check it out. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm probably gonna play a lot more retro games after this. Um, Anyways, my number 5 pick
5.
is Mario Kart.
Oh man, classic kart racer.
The best game at the DNV. Um,
Best way to pass your driver's test legally.
Legally,
And
if you pass Rainbow Road whilst drunk, you are legally allowed to drunk drive. That's a fact, everybody. You can just tell the transit officer next time you get pulled over, hey, bro, I passed Rainbow Road while drunk.
I played Rainbow Road and Mario Kart drunk.
I've heard about this drinking game called Drunk Mario Kart, where every time you stop, you have to drink as fast as possible, and when you're back, you gotta keep driving. And I mean, if you're playing Luigi's Circuit, it's probably like the most boring drinking game because that's the easiest course. But if you're trying Rainbow Road, damn.
That one's pretty tough. I would say Peach's track that was pretty easy too, though.
No, that's Peach's Castle, and that's one of the harder ones.
No, like the mushroom circuit. Like you literally just go around in a circle.
Oh yeah.
The only hazard there is like the sand. If you get knocked off the track, it's a pain to get back on. But other than that, there's no real obstacles.
Yeah, the one that I think is the hardest, because Rainbow Road, I think it's obviously it's hard, and it's famously hard. But the hardest one to me is Yoshi's Mountain, because that's a maze. That's a maze. That's not a track like Rainbow Road, so it's a bit harder.
Well, we do know it's better than Mario Kart, though. I think we can agree.
Drunk driving.
Drunk driving, Crash Team Racing. Much better Mario Kart.
I've never played Crash Team Racing, to be honest.
That one came out first. Mario Kart ripped off Crash.
Well, I don't. Cool. Fun fact. Yeah, Mario Kart is a fun game, even if it's a rip-off or a copy.
It's not a rip-off. It's a meme. Mario fanboys. It's just a joke.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of scared because I'm mentioning a lot of Nintendo games, and I don't want people to think I'm a pedophile.
Oh my gosh!
Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme that's like, mention your most unpopular opinion about Smash Bros. And they reply to the tweet that's like, the legal age of consent should be over 18 years.
Oh my, no, I haven't seen those. But now that I know about it, I need to go bleach my eyes when we're done with this episode.
Anyways, Mario Kart, fun game. You've probably played it at parties or alone or drunk. Or at a party alone and drunk. You know, who knows?
Through your own party, you got drunk and busted out some Mario Kart. Why not, right?
When I get my driver's license, oh baby. By the way, I would just like to complain about the DNV. I've been trying to renew my driver's license for a year, and an appointment it takes like 3 months to get. Like I got my appointment in January, and it's gonna be this Friday, so I am just so angry at the DMV right now.
Mine's relatively quick to get renewed. Like, I didn't really have any hassle with scheduling it or anything.
Well, that's because 4 people live in Ryansville, Pennsylvania. So
Yeah, because no one even runs it. We don't even have licenses. We just go to this empty shack in the middle of the woods and say, "You can drive," and then they just steal whatever they
Yeah, you
want.
gotta play drunk Mario Kart, and if you win,
Exactly.
actually, I have a friend that lives in a smaller town, and luckily he was like friends with the person that ran the DMV in his town. So he just got a license. He didn't even have to take the test or anything.
Oh my gosh, lucky him. Wish I knew people like that. Could
Wish
have
I
spent my
had
life saving
friends at
money.
the DMV.
Well, I'm gonna go work at the DMV, and I will do my best to get your license, despite the fact we're
Thanks.
not in the same country as each other.
Oh yeah. Um, I had something funny to say, but I already forgot. Anyways, drunk Mario Kart. Number 4. I have Castle Crashers.
What's that?
It's like Wedding Crashers, but for
I,
castles.
but better. Does Owen Wilson appear in it?
No, it's a game by the Bethan Month. I think that's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it. I don't really know because it's a weird name, but it's a co-op game. It's a very simple story. It's like the princess is stolen and 4 knights have to go rescue her, and
Of course.
it's a button smasher game. I don't really know what legally makes a game a hack and whatever.
What, a hack and slash
A
game?
hack and slash legally constitutes, but I guess it counts as a hack and slash game because that's all you do. You just press buttons and do combos until you kill enemies. I don't
Is it
know.
like open world or is it like arena based?
It's an
Can you move around freely in like levels or
yes, I
anything?
understand what an open world is, but
Okay, so it's this box, right? And inside of it is an open world.
kind of. I don't know. It's level based, but yeah, majority is kind of open world. But
All right, so we'll just go with a hack and slash.
yeah, it's like that. And yes, there is like an arena mode where you can beat up your friends, but most of the game is co-op, so it's kind of cool. There's not really any characters. It's not important. I what I like about this game and what I like about the studio is their art department. It's very cartoonish, so it's very like stupid when you're playing the game. So it's kind of fun. They have another game that I don't remember the name, but it's like a theater and it's a platformer. It's kind of fun. They have Alien Hominid, which is basically Castle Crashers but with aliens. That's another fun game. But
Uh,
Castle Crashers is the only game of theirs that I've actually completed. So it's a fun game. You should check it out if you have the opportunity. I don't even know if they still sell it, but
it's available at your local thrift shop in the 99-cent bin.
dude, I
Oh,
literally went to like the hood to search for this game because I couldn't find it
no.
legally. So I went, yeah, that's not even like I went to like a really sketchy market and I'm like, hey, bro, do you got Castle Crashers? And they said no. So I was like, damn, I've been defeated. So I had to buy it online
Um,
because I actually wanted
God.
like the little physical copy, but I can't get it. Anyways, what's your number 4, Ryan?
My number 4, that's a bit more of a tricky one because my top 3, I already know what I have picked for them. But my number 4, that one's a bit more of a difficult one because I'd have to put in another game that I've played that I've very much enjoyed. But I want to make it different enough to the point where I can be like, hey, this game that's not related to the ones I've talked about already. I would go. My number 4 is going to be another indie game, and it is Celeste. I would go with. It's an indie platformer that released back in 2018. Fun fact: it is notorious because it is one of the only indie games to ever be nominated for a Game of the Year award, which it was. It was that renowned. Celeste is a tough as nails platformer, and is again renowned as one of the greatest indie games of all time. It is a very different platformer.
Cuphead.
When you die, when no, it's better than Cuphead. The storyline alone is fantastic. Celeste, I relate to personally a lot because Celeste has themes of mental health and dealing with mental disorders and a lot of other stuff, especially
What's the
because
game about?
it's about this woman named Madeline who the game doesn't explicitly reveal. like what her condition is, but she suffers from like panic attacks and whatnot in cases of severe anxiety and stress. And she travels up this mountain known as Celeste in order to make it to the top to prove to herself that she can overcome her struggles. She makes a lot of good friends that she makes along the way that help her going up the mountain. She also has this physical manifestation of her own doubts, grievances, and just overall like mental pain that tries to impede her progress, like dissuade her from going down. And it has real life themes of mental health and dealing with anxiety and that kind of thing. And when you reach the top of the mountain at the end and you overcome that challenge, it was one of the best video game stories I've ever played. Again, because I am a huge advocate for mental health myself, and it relates to me a lot in that way as well, besides it just being a great story. The gameplay itself I thought was really good. It's not easy. It's if you want a challenge, Celeste is going to be a game for you. But the game, with its in-game messages and everything, it actively encourages you, going with the theme of mental health. Every time you die, it encourages you to get back into it and get up again. And it tells you if you don't want to go for collectibles or anything, that's fine. It'll be there for you to do. Plus, the game has an assist mode if you really want to. You can make yourself literally invulnerable, have infinite jumps, and you can make it to where you never die no matter what. So if you just want to just breeze right through and experience the story without worrying about any challenging platforming, you can literally break the game with the options they give you. So I don't think it matters all in all for the difficulty spike if you're just into the story. But all in all, Celeste is a fantastic game, and it is a game I played earlier this year, actually, in February or March, somewhere in
So
there. And it was
it's a new game.
it's no released in 2018. I played it like earlier this year for the first time when it became available in the Xbox Game Pass. I love Celeste. It is one of the best game stories I've played, and I very highly recommend it.
Okay, mental health. So, what's your number 3?
My number 3, I'm going to classify this one with Devil May Cry 3. Spoiler alert, these top 3 games are legitimately, like, this list are games that I've played that I very much love and enjoy, but these top 3 are officially on my own personal list of my top 10 video games I've ever played, period, throughout my entire lifetime, up until, like, this point now. So Devil May Cry 3 is on my list of actual, like, favorite games, period. I love this game to death. I played this last year when I was going through a Devil May Cry marathon. And I discovered both the highs of the series, like 5, like I mentioned before, and the lows, which Devil May Cry 2 is one of the worst pieces of shit you could ever play in a video game. Mostly just because of how disappointing and bland it was. And by the way, it's not even just an opinion of it being a bad game, period, in the Devil May Cry series. It's regarded as one of the most disappointing game sequels ever made. So,
Yeah.
with that,
Fun
with that
fact.
in mind,
Fun fact. Before Ryan continues, when we did the Lost in Translation video, so my friend, I put in the end credits with a link to Ryan's channel. I put that video, the Devil May Cry 2 review,
oh my gosh.
and Marka, my friend, shared it to his classmates from his high school, and his teacher saw that, and he saw Ryan's video, and he was like, "Who's this, the boss guy?" And they were like, "He's just Emilio's friend. Why?" He's like, "I like him because he doesn't like Devil May Cry 2. I support this guy."
It's fantastic. He has great opinions and tastes in games, I'll tell you, because it is legitimately a terrible video game. It is awful. But nonetheless, though, Devil May Cry 3 is a fantastic game. It does everything right that Devil May Cry 2 should have done as a follow-up to DMC 1. This is one of the best battle games and mechanics for a hack-and-slash game, adventure game I've ever played. It has one of the best game stories that I've experienced for how simple it is, the pacing of it, the characters, the themes of, like, the underworld themes, the charm, the weapons, the combos, the extra modes and stuff that you have available to you, the character of Dante actually having a sense of humor and personality. And this game, while not being something you would expect from, like, a Devil May Cry game, like, where action's the focus, the story and characters, with such a small cast, but there's only 5 main characters throughout this entire game, it is fantastic the way they execute it, and the pacing is just on point. And the themes of, like, family and everything else that they have in a game like this is astounding. Not to mention the game looks fantastic for coming out in 2005 on the PS2. The environments are massive. Great upgrade system with your weapons. Great versatility with the playstyle. You even have access to different modes, which they introduced in Devil May Cry 3. Like Trickster mode, for example, which allows more for, like, maneuverability in battle, like being able to dodge and move faster. or you have different modes that allow you like to attack faster or like more powerful. Like whatever your play style is, this game caters to it. Devil May Cry 3 is a fantastic video game, and if you have not played this game yet, and you are a fan of action adventure games, if you're a fan of hack and slashes or satisfying battle mechanics and kick-ass music, you are doing a disservice not playing this game. Please pick up a copy. It is very cheap and available on a lot of different platforms. It's really good. Check it out.
My number 3 pick is Pokemon. I don't have a favorite Pokemon game, but I really enjoy the series.
I do. I have a favorite game from the series.
Which one's your favorite Pokemon game?
We're saving that for later in the list.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, Pokemon, I've only been able to finish the first generation. I am not really that keen on finishing all of the other games, but I have played a lot of the other ones. Actually, one time in my school we had a small Pokemon tournament. So we gave everybody a month to basically build their team, the roster in I think it was Pokemon Emerald. And basically the idea was to beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, that is amazing.
That's what friendship is all about. I actually got to beat up one of my teachers, but that wasn't playing Pokemon. That's because I had anger issues.
I believe that. Just like his wife.
What? I'm not the one that's divorced. I just want to point that out.
Hey, alimony debt settled.
Anyway, so no, but I did play one of my teachers and I did beat him up. It's the most epic point of my life. Everything else was pretty average compared to that.
His life will never peak after that. Just beating his Pokemon, being his teacher in Pokemon.
Yes, Ryan. Thank you for explaining the joke. So
You're welcome.
So I was pretty much the underdog because I was literally Ash Ketchum, dude. Because nobody believed in me because it was my first time playing Pokemon Emerald, and so every time I had to look at the wiki to know how stuff worked. Because
I'm gonna ask you this: what was your team that you had?
God, I don't remember, but it was.
Be careful with what you say.
I don't remember the names because I put nicknames, so I can tell you the nicknames of the Pokemon.
I'm crying over here.
Yes, Ryan. Ryan's such a neckbeard, he gets offended by video games, but when people do rape jokes, he thinks it's A-okay.
No! I'm a purist when it comes to Pokemon Emerald. Like, absolute 100% purist when it comes to that game. I love that game to death.
So that's your favorite Pokemon game?
Actually, it is, believe it or not. I mean, I'll explain. I might as well. It is like my number one on this list is Pokemon Emerald. I'll just say that now. I'll get into more detail later, but I love that game to death.
Hold on, guys. My food is ready, so I don't know if I should leave the show and go cook. But we're just going to leave it in the oven and see what happens. I don't know.
As we see the flames come up from Emilio, the background of Emilio's house.
Oh, this is in my house, dude. It's okay if it burns down.
Alright, yeah, you're still in the building.
Anyway, so Pokemon is a fun game. It's so addictive. Actually, as some of you may know, we were shooting a show recently. And all I did in the free time was play Pokemon Red between shots. I wrote it into the show that I had to be playing Pokemon at one point. So I got to play Pokemon even on camera. I got away with it, everybody.
Oh, epic.
But yeah, Pokemon is so fun. Literally all of them are cool. Even Pokemon Snap. There's actually a lot of interesting story about how Pokemon inspired a lot of people. Like there was this judo fighter that he got into judo because someone stole his shiny Charizard. So he started training judo to beat up the kid that stole his shiny Charizard. Which I just think it's hilarious. Yeah, I love Pokemon. When I went to Japan, I went Pokemon crazy, and I did limit myself. But next time I'm going, I am not holding back. It's only going to be about Pokemon. I don't care that there's a culture there. It's only going to be about Pokemon.
Yep. All you gotta do is cough on people and throw Pokeballs at the locals. So, that's you gotta catch them all, right?
Yeah, that's how you get all the diseases.
Yeah, definitely what you should do if you go to another country, going to Japan. It's worked out for so many great people in the past. It's great. It's really
Yeah,
good.
but Pokemon is very fun. The anime, I don't want to talk about that now.
Let's just not delve into it. The floating timeline bullshit.
It's not
I don't
even
even know.
that, dude. My problem with the Pokemon animated series is that it tries to be episodic, even though there's a mainline story, so it doesn't make sense. I get that it's a
No.
show for kids, but it's still very like kind of boring. Although I will give them that I watched it way above the target audience the first time, so fine.
Wait, wow.
You beat me there, Nintendo. Fuck you.
Oh my gosh, Nintendo. I'm surprised that you actually were ahead of the curve on that one. You were 3 when
Yes,
I met you.
Ryan.
You're 5 now. Wow, Pokemon hasn't
Yes.
improved much.
We've heard the age joke so many times. Look at us. Everybody's
Wait,
laughing. Look at how many people are laughing.
I know, it's insane, right?
It's
Thank you guys for
very. I know you
supporting
don't
me.
know how to count, but that's a
VIDEOGAMES.
zero. Anyways,
Dang it. I need to try harder next time.
what's your number two?
My number 2 would be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of my actual favorite games of all time. Symphony of the Night, it was a funny backstory about how I even wanted to get the game in the first place. When I first started getting into buying and reselling video games, which is a hobby I do on the side for those of you who didn't know, I have accumulated, at one point, a good amount of money trying to do it. And I eventually saved up enough money to go and get a copy of Symphony of the Night, because from what I'd seen online, it looked like a fantastic video game, and I was getting more into the Metroidvanias anyway. I went to go buy it from a local game store of mine. At the time, it was $80, which to me it's still a decent amount of money, granted. I saved up for it, went to buy it, and the day that I went to get it, they sold it earlier in the day. And I was so upset because I really wanted this game.
Couldn't you have asked the people at the store to hold it for you?
They don't do holds for that kind of thing. It's like a first come first serve kind of thing.
Uh,
Plus, that was back in the earlier days of like being associated with them, so didn't really quite work that way. But eventually, though, I was disappointed, so I went back in like the next week or so, and as I had asked them to like look around. They didn't have it in any of their other stores, and one of the guys there was nice enough. He snagged me a copy, a black label copy that I still have to this day. He's like, "Hey, were you looking for that Symphony of the Night game?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Well, it just so happens I have a copy right here." It was slightly more expensive because it was the black label compared to the greatest hits version, which there's no real difference other than the greatest. It's like the green label instead of the black label. So whatever. They both
so the
work.
difference is just the packaging.
Literally the packaging. Yeah, it's nothing really special about it.
You got scammed.
I don't care. I prefer the look of the black label copy, so it's worth more anyway. But I got my copy of Symphony of the Night finally, and I played the shit out of this game. It is one of the only video games that I have completed almost 200%, and that is what the percentage of this game goes to, because there's 2 castles in the game.
Okay.
It is a longer game.
Oh,
It is the main castle and then the reverse castle.
I thought it was hyperbole. I was like, oh wait, wait. First, don't know how to count.
No, it legitimately almost goes up to 200% because there's 2 different castles to go through, which
Okay.
is like the only Castlevania game to do it. What
You
can I
got
say
to
about
true
Symphony of the Night?
Jedi.
Absolutely. True Jedi ending. The game is visually holds up today better than most modern games because in 97 it goes for that pixelated, like, I would say like old school Castlevania, but with more like modern hardware in the PS1 at the time. The sprite work is fantastic. It's just a great game. It is visually it's fantastic. The music is fantastic. It's a kick-ass soundtrack. The Metroidvania gameplay they go for with the exploration, the weapons, the RPG mechanics are all great. The story is campy and stupid. The voice acting has little to no effort put into it, but it adds to the charm of the game. And the characters that they introduce for this game are really good in their own right for continuing the story. So without dragging out too much, because Symphony of the Night is just, in my opinion, it's a masterpiece. It's not perfect. There are parts of it that are kind of dumbed down, especially with them trying to hide, like, because the reverse castle is like one of the most well hidden video game secrets like of all time until everyone knew about it when it came out. So it's still impressive, but not as much now because everyone knows about it. But what I will say is that's not perfect, but it's a great game. Play it if you haven't.
So my number 2 is Minecraft, everybody.
Oh, how
Minecraft.
did I not see that coming? Oh boy.
Minecraft
Woohoo.
is a fun game. Like I don't it's the highest selling video game. I don't have to explain it. It's a sandbox where you can do whatever the fuck you want. There I think with Minecraft it's mostly what I enjoy about it is the community. Because you know you can pick it up with your friends and go to
Okay,
a
that's okay. That's
server
different.
and
That's different.
and of course, I think what's interesting during the pandemic is how the audience of Minecraft sort of changed. Because before the pandemic, it's sort of the same demographic as Roblox, which were the core audience of the game. But now, because of the pandemic, and since we had nothing to do, I picked up a copy of Minecraft and started, just kind of doing what I used to do when I was in elementary school. And yeah, Minecraft is a fun little game, and it's
Honestly,
PewDiePie certified,
absolutely. I mean, Minecraft. I'll
just like
say
the N
this.
word.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that because that's not funny. But what I will say is, Minecraft, I do agree with you. Minecraft was a game. I don't despise Minecraft. I think it's a really fun game to play with your friends, to play with your family, to get creative and build stuff that you couldn't before. The pandemic definitely enhanced it, and you must admit though too in the YouTube scene when PewDiePie started playing Minecraft, that really elevated the
Yeah,
return of like more Minecraft content.
I mean
Like he's not
when he started playing, that's when I went to buy my copy for
exactly.
Minecraft.
So
But
he inspired a lot of people, especially during the pandemic times,
yeah,
in order to be able to do it. Which I respect Minecraft for because members of my family, for example, love the game, and I've played it myself a few times, and it's great. I think it's good for what it is.
okay,
And all in all, Minecraft I think deserves the status that it has amongst people. Now, the bad thing I think about Minecraft is that bogs it down to a lot of people is the community, but you can't completely blame the community either because it's young kids. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, but
Like when
that's with every video game because the majority of people that
bro,
have the free time to play a video game are kids,
bro, trust
teenagers.
me, no 5-year-old kids playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I promise you, no.
Yeah,
They are
but
not
the
playing
what I
that
mean
game.
is, with the majority of video games, the audience will be younger. That doesn't necessarily mean 5-year-olds. That can mean 17-year-olds. But yeah, the majority will be on the younger side, which is fine. And yeah, Minecraft, the community, I think it's fine. I think it's pretty. It depends also because there's different types of Minecraft communities. So there are ones that for example, I would never approach. But yeah, Minecraft is a fun little game. What do you think
Yeah,
about? Well, what I don't like about Minecraft is the story mode and the. I haven't played
uh,
dungeons, but the story mode is very boring. I've never played it. I will admit, but I've watched gameplays and it looks kind of
uh,
boring.
I've played a little bit of Dungeons and I played a little bit of the story mode with my family. Is what the capacity that I play that in.
And is
Dungeons is
dungeons?
Dungeons is a very simple dungeon crawling game. It's a Minecraft game. I mean, it's not a horrible video game. It's just boring. Like you do the same stuff over and over again. I mean, they splice in different enemies and levels here and there, yeah, but it's nothing impressive at the end of the day. I mean, when you played the first level, you played the entire game. As far as story mode goes, I don't even know what to make of it. It's just there. It's a story in the world of Minecraft. It's like Telltale Games written all over it.
Well, I mean, I think they made it. So
Did they? I actually have no idea. It reminds me
yeah,
of Telltale.
yeah, I think they made the video game actually.
I mean, it's a Telltale game. I mean, what you see is what you
Yeah.
get. It's an original story, but in Minecraft. It's okay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played a Telltale game in a long time, but
I played a little bit of The Walking Dead.
I do
That's
agree
all.
with some people when they say that the thing with Telltale games is you kind of forget that you're playing a video game at a lot of times because of the minimal action.
Yeah, I mean, you only make like dialogue choices to like affect the story and whatnot. Like that's what Telltale was known for, but they're not really
R.I.P.
action. Yep, rest in peace, Telltale. Got
But
dull
yeah,
as shit.
Minecraft is fun. They always add new things. Actually, like I had stopped playing Minecraft for so long, but then in 2020 I got back into it, And dude, they changed that game a whole lot. When I the last time I played Minecraft was when they added boats, and now they have dolphins and
Whoa.
water
Yeah,
zombies and bees. Uh, for some
they've
reason,
added so much into the game. Minecraft is a game that I think it stood the test of time, despite being out for about a decade,
yeah,
if not a decade now,
yeah, I
because of all
think
the
it
new
is.
additions. Such a simple idea, but they've evolved on it so much with the additions of new gameplay, new items, new animals, new things to do, new modes. Like Minecraft has been kept fresh, and
Yeah,
I think that's how it's helped stand the test of time.
that's why I don't understand why they do like story mode or dungeons. Like they just have
No,
to
because what they
improve the
have
new
worked.
one. Yeah, I think it's also like the studio has to find a way
To
to
market more of like Minecraft, like cash
no,
grab kind of thing.
like well, yeah, that too. But I think they have to find something else just in case Minecraft dies again.
Oh, this is Minecraft that we're talking about. I don't think it's gonna die.
That's a
I
fair
don't
point.
think so.
Among Us, that's another game.
No, no. I enjoy Among Us, but it's just,
Yeah.
no. It,
Yeah, it's fun to play with friends. If you're playing it online,
yeah,
it's not the same experience, but
it is probably my favorite like mobile game. I'll say that my favorite mobile multiplayer game I've played with my friends. But other than that, I mean, it's all right.
it's fun to
It
play
works.
during class. That's what we're trying to
Yeah,
say. What's Do you have some honorable mentions you would like to give before number one?
I do. Yeah, I have a few honorable mentions I'd like to give. These ones are very nostalgic games for me. I'll just list a few off the top of my head. Samurai Western on the PS2, a game I briefly mentioned on the podcast before, using a sword instead of guns. You basically use a sword to go against guns in a Wild West thing. You play as a samurai from Japan, tracking down your brother in a Western feudal town, trying to track him down and kill him in order to avenge the honor of your family because he became a gunslinger in the Old West. All the while, you're trying to save this town from like this businessman who wants to tear it down kind of thing. It's kind of cliche a little bit, but really good game. Really solid soundtrack. Story's all right, and the gameplay for it being a sword that you use against guns, something I haven't really seen other games do. Another game that would be an honorable mention that I really love, despite the niche status it has, is Bloody Roar 4. It's like the fourth or fifth or final installment in the Bloody Roar fighting franchise. Technically fifth, because they made a side game or two, but is a very underrated fighting game. Really good. The main gimmick of it is you get to transform into animals, so you're a furry on the go.
Oh
Depending on
hell
what
yeah!
animal you feel. Yeah, you can transform into a wide array of animals depending on what character you choose, and that's what adds help to the gameplay. It's your classic Street Fighter Tekken style gameplay, and each character has their own story. There's certain characters that are actually involved in the main story, and everyone else has like their own encounter with like the final boss and stuff. So it's nothing amazing. The voice acting is awful. I'm not gonna lie, there the lip syncing doesn't even match the dialogue, so I mean that's not great. But the gameplay and the extra modes are so good that Bloody Roar 4 is still one of my favorite PS2 games, and it's just such a nostalgic game for me. Period. So those are two honorable mentions for me right there before we get to my number one, which I've told you guys what it is because Emilio brought up his experiences with it. So
Um,
let me let me tell you my number one
hold
favorite
on,
video game.
hold on, hold on. I gotta give my honorable mention.
Oh,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
I would like to talk about Crunch. That's not a video game, but it's a type of exploitation that happens in the video game industry. And it's basically designers are forced to work pretty much for way over time, and they get paid minimal. Some don't even get paid, and major companies use them as recyclable as possible.
Mhm.
They fire them, they assault them, some of them. With that being said, I would like to introduce you to Riot Games. Riot Games has been accused many a times about this practice known as crunch. And they produced League of Legends, which is my number one pick.
Of course, it had to cycle into yours, but sure.
League of Legends is my favorite video game despite the shitty practices of the company. I don't think that the answer is stop playing the video game. I think is we should shine a light on it so the company can see reform. I think that's how you solve it. And yeah, I don't think I have to explain League of Legends, but yeah, it's a MOBA type game. It's a ripoff of Dota. I don't even know why I play it, but I've played it many
He's a
times.
nerd.
I've played 2,000 games of League, and
Whoa.
but the only reason I played was because one of my friends tried to start a pro League team, and he invited us. Then he saw that
3,000 games?
then he saw that we sucked and kicked us off the team, but we kept on playing. And yeah, it's a fun game I play with my friends. What I like about it the most is the esports scene, which I am a big fan of. I am currently watching MSI. It's pretty exciting to see how other people play it, and I don't know. I think it's changed the esports scene like no other video game, despite it being a ripoff of Dota. I'll admit that. Um, but yeah, it's a fun game you can pick up, and yeah, check it out. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just a fun game. There's not a story. It's just get Mario Kart drunk and then play this one. I don't know. But yeah, the fan base is very toxic. I would not engage with them.
All right. Very, very cool. I've never played League of Legends in my life, but
Because you
I
don't
can
have a
understand why.
computer.
I do have a computer though, so I just choose not to play League of Legends. That
Because
type
your
of guy.
computer has 2 gigabytes of RAM.
That may be true. So anyway, let's move on to my number one. And of course, it is Pokemon Emerald. If I choose, it would be, I know, it'd be my favorite video game of all time. And I'm not just saying that because it's from the Pokemon franchise. This game is so rooted into my memory and my childhood. I absolutely love Pokemon Emerald to death. It is a game that is so classic to me as far as a Pokemon game goes. Implements so many unique features in the Pokemon franchise. Having a better attempt at a storyline, actually having elements of Pokemon games that aren't present in any other game. Like you actually have a dad in this one, because no other Pokemon game has a father. They're fatherless.
What's wrong with
So-
that, Ryan? Jesus, go with the
I'm like-
times.
Like, I think it's cool to have a father in the game, but also he's a gym leader that you fight against. I think that's really cool in the game. Also, the fact that you have a match call feature within the game that you get to call people you previously battled, the gym leaders and the champion, not to mention the Elite Four, and converse with them, which you don't get to do in other games. A wide array of Pokemon, unique locations, a focus on natural disasters, which is a theme that Pokemon decided to undertake before natural disasters were a major issue in public eyes.
Haven't they always been a major issue in public eyes?
I'm giving this to Pokemon Emerald, don't take this away from me. So...
Did you discover the news at the same time you discovered Pokemon Emerald?
Dude, how'd you know? No.
I like this game, but I'm very confused about the things you're praising it for. Like the fact that you can talk to people you formerly battled. Who gives a shit about that?
They've never done that in any other Pokemon game aside from Gen 2. For those of you Gen 2 people out there, you don't get to go back and re-battle the Elite Four or the champion ever again.
Yeah, you get
in
to
those
re-battle the Elite Four.
You can talk to them.
Pokemon Blue, you can battle them again.
Don't take this. Hey, why you roast? I didn't roast you about League. Don't roast me about Emerald.
I'm not roasting you. I'm just confused.
Anyway, moving on. Great visuals for a Game Boy Advance game. Really great features that aren't present in other games in the series. I really enjoy the soundtrack. The soundtrack isn't as varied as other games, I must admit, too. There's a lot of trumpets they implemented within the tracks, and it kind of get repetitive, but I think it's good regardless. Great extra modes that they offered at the time, even though a lot of them aren't available nowadays, because Nintendo is, to this day, still dog shit at network connectivity. So... with that in mind, though, as a Pokemon game, it's really good. It even includes the Battle Frontier at the end, which this game is an amalgamation of Ruby and Sapphire. It basically takes all the content from those games, but adds some new story into it and some new characters.
Yep.
And it has the Battle Frontier at the end, which adds a shit ton of replayability. It'll take you forever to do if you decide to do it if you have a copy of the game, because Pokemon Emerald is expensive as fudge.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I'm so glad I'm in a copy still. But with that in mind, Pokemon Emerald, I could talk about this game all day, but to keep it short, it's a fantastic game. It is my personal favorite. I don't know, it is definitely one of my favorite games of all time in my top 10 list. Would I put it at number 1, though? I don't know.
You just did.
This list, for me, is an amalgamation of the top 3 are definitely on my official list, but the other games I listed for this episode would be ones that I would consider contenders for that list. Because this list I've been planning my entire life, like from the top 10 list, and I keep track of it. And I only have 3 on there, games that actually made an impact on me that I would go back and play anytime.
Okay, so, weirdo.
Whatever. All right, yeah, weirdo. Whatever. Only
yeah,
played
let me
FIFA.
think about that.
Anywho,
I can't even play
Emerald...
FIFA. I don't even have a console.
Well, anyway, Pokemon Emerald, fantastic game. I highly recommend it.
Fun game. Fun.
Yes.
My favorite part is when you get to have sex with the Pokemon. Hell yeah.
That is not what happens in the game. That is in the DLC of Sword and Shield.
Oh, yeah.
That recently released.
Anyways, those are top 10 picks. We hope you might have agreed with them.
If you didn't, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Unless you disagree with us. Otherwise, you're wrong.
We will track you down, and we have a bus. You do the math.
Yeah, we'll pick you up and take you to hell.
I was going to say run them over, but yeah, okay, sure, that works too, I guess.
Anything you would else like to add?
Outside of this was definitely one of the more, I'll say this, and the recent episodes that we've done when it comes to, because this is the 3rd one we've done so far where we've ranked media, like TV shows, movies, and video games. I enjoy stuff like, if you guys can tell from like episodes, I'm assuming this is going up after like those episodes and whatnot, I'm assuming.
Oh, man.
Damn. Wow, ruined the trash talk timeline, man. The continuity's all out of whack now.
Regardless, this one's going to pop out and fan theories are going to start about the secret top 10 movie episodes, top 10 TV show episode.
Oh, man. Now we can't release them. Oh, damn. Well, I will say this. When we did those episodes, I enjoy TV shows and movies. I plucked a bunch of ones that I remembered that I've really enjoyed. And I'm not as much into TV. Movies, occasionally. TV, I don't really watch TV much anymore. But I will say is video games are my wheelhouse. And this is something that I really enjoy doing. It was also really great hearing Emilio's side of it. Because one unique thing that I've always wanted Emilio to try and do was talk about video games. And I understand he's not a big gamer, but it was really cool to hear him talk about different video games that he's played.
I enjoy getting laid.
That aside, it was really great hearing him talk about video games. And that's what made it really cool for me as well. So, it was a really good time.
Yeah, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this because we're never doing it again.
We're never talking about video games again. Next time we will be delving back into
hentai.
Hentai and the re-election of the governor of Antarctica, who is he's campaigning for global warming as we speak.
Oh, good. So, like most U.S. politicians.
Basically.
Anyways.
The difference is he has a penguin army.
He's got my vote. Anyways. Yeah, this was definitely interesting. I tried to be as diverse with my comments about these shows. But, these video games, fuck.
Wow.
It's good that we finally got to see Ryan talk about something that he actually knows about. And
about TV shows and movies, thank you very much.
It was also good to see different genres in his picks. Definitely Celeste was a curveball. I was not expecting something like that to be on the list considering previous ones, but it was a pleasant surprise.
Excellent. That's actually good to hear.
My picks, you can criticize them all you want. I don't care.
I mean, you had Minecraft on there. I mean, that was something.
Guys. And I even wrote a joke here that says Fortnite bad. So all you gamers now have to like me.
I was surprised that wasn't one of your runner-ups for Fortnite.
Can I quickly complain about Fortnite? I do not understand the hype around it.
I don't even care about Fortnite at this point. If you want to play a good multiplayer game online, play Brawlhalla.
Club Penguin.
No, just play Brawlhalla.
It's a free-to-play dude, I've played Brawlhalla. Damn, yeah, it's a rip-off of Smash Bros.
But, I mean, it is, but it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's also a fun game, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it has a ton of game modes, and it's, yeah.
Plus, they have a lot of great crossovers, too. They do a shit ton of crossovers. They've done crossovers with Adventure Time, Hellboy, the new Ben 10, Shovel Knight, Steven Universe. They've done a few other ones. WWE, The Walking Dead. They've done a lot of different crossover.
Holy
Kung Fu
crap!
Panda.
I didn't even know they did that.
Kung Fu Panda most recently. Yeah, they're available as like unique costumes,
Oh,
fighting styles, and everything. You get to play as them within the game. It's really cool.
damn! I gotta boot up Brawlhalla. I haven't played in so long.
They're still doing crossovers too. I don't know what the next one they're doing is, but oh yeah, Rayman. That's another one.
Yeah, but and if you want a battle royale game, just play Minecraft Hunger Games.
Just play CS:GO. Everyone remembers that game, right?
There's the CS:GO Pro League actually.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's still a thing. All right, well, to each their own, I guess.
Anyways, guys, if you like this podcast, you can check us out on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast, iTunes, which is Apple Podcast but with a different name for some reason. Pocket Podcast, Breaker, and so many more. Also on YouTube for the video versions. If you want to see Ryan cringe at video games because he's a purist about something that doesn't matter, but okay. And
I will accept that as part of my soul.
wow, I just got really depressed for you for some reason right there. On Anchor, you can send us a voice message.
And you might be featured in a future episode of the podcast.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact. It falls into current topics, but a lot of our audience recently has been from Palestine. So shout out to everybody there.
Well, shout out to them. But you guys replaced Ireland as my new favorite country outside of the U.S. and Mexico and Canada.
Who likes the United States? Ew. They gave us...
I live here. I have to deal with it.
I'm kind of offended Canada was on that list too.
Oh, come on.
Everybody knows that the best country is Alaska. Anyways, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into this.
That is a state, not a country.
That's a country, Ryan. Everybody knows that. Oh my god. You're embarrassing me.
That's like saying Hawaii is a country.
It is.
No, it's not. It's a state.
They speak Hawaiian. That's a different language.
Oh my... Did you fail your geology class, man?
Yeah, dude, but that's irrelevant because what I needed to know was geography. So, Alaska is a country, everybody. I'm declaring its independence right now.
See, that needs to be the title of the podcast. It has nothing to do with gaming, but Alaska is not a state, it's a country.
That's a conspiracy theory. They don't want you to know about it.
Alaskan conspiracy theory.
But
parentheses about.
Anyways, just follow me on all my stuff. Link in the description.
Check me out at my YouTube channel, The Boss Official, and my podcast available on Spotify, Anchor, and various other platforms.
Whoops! Who asked? Oh, I'm gonna have to cut it out because
the audience asked. Clearly, that's why I'm telling them. This is why they come to the podcast. They just want to hear.
All my homies in Palestine just said no, thank you. We're leaving Ireland. Please replace us.
Check out the Boss Cast. It's gaming / guest centered, and as well as my personality. You can check that out.
Oh, dude, you should have just said video games. I was.
No, it's more than just games. I like to do other stuff on there too, like bringing guests on and stuff. I just had a actual friend of mine on the show. She's an artist named Mel who has a Kickstarter going. It's actually really fun. So it's someone who I actually know in real life. Yay.
Well, by the time that this podcast comes out, it's like episode 13 of 50. So you gotta scroll down there a bit.
50.
So, bye.
See you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one.
People. See you, people.